ever lost is in here. How the lines on your face were written. How you cannot afford your own face. How your face was a battlefield deserted. How your pockets were tunnels and you were lost in them. How no one came even though you called all night. How your call was the sound of something breaking. How your teeth were tower blocks in which only ghosts lived. How your skin was a lost birth certificate. How your birth certificate was proof of your death. How they stole your smile to store on a high supermarket shelf. How your body was taken from you. How your body was returned, parts missing, batteries no longer included. How the industry made you. How your tongue was a conveyor belt and you could not make the words fast enough. How your soul was kept well fed in a zoo. How the zoo was a library of lost souls. How the souls stared unblinking from glass enclosures. How the glass was etched with the hieroglyphics of rage. How you made an origami figure of a small boy staring. How some boys cry with their fists. How some boys hang themselves from the thin edges of their smiles. How they told you that white was the colour that contained all others. How your skin became a colour that contained you. How skin becomes insignia. How they sold black back to you at inflated prices. How rainbows are portents. How rainbows are boarded. How you travelled to the other side of the rainbow and met a stranger travelling back the way you had come. How the stranger looked like you. How you are a stranger. How your mouth is a disused mine. How the mines were dug out with the mouths of your ancestors. How your ancestors will be born after you. How you cannot remove the bruise of coal dust from your shoulder. How there is nothing natural about cotton. How cocaine is more honest than cotton. How a length of string stretches all the way from Indian plantations to Starling, Lancashire mill towns. How smoke rises from mill town chimneys. And you recognise its face. Everything you have ever lost is in here. How you tattooed your arm with his fingerprints, a memorial. How each fingerprint reminds you of Webb. How the scar on your belly distills into a map, a buried treasure. How they spat at you and the saliva became a sea and you sailed easily across it to the other side of your heart. How your heart was a tectonic plate. How your heart rubbed. How it drifted apart. How other people set up home on the opposite side of the heart to you. How they sent smoke signals. How you answered. How your words turned to ash and blew away. How your voice was thin ice that you were scared to walk across. How silence was a song your enemy taught you. How the last bus home took you to another woman's city. How home keeps moving. How you knocked on the door of your home and a stranger answered. How your father lives in your face and nowhere else. How you told them you were a woman and they told you there were no more women left, not like you. How you were the last girl. When you married a prison, when they said you were good looking, when they said you were good handwriting, when you were written by someone else, when you no longer fitted your body, when your body no longer fitted the mould of your bed, when you said no, when you said no again, when no is spelled yes, when you were stolen by a silhouette and made to pay his bail, when you were raped by a high court judge, when the judge's wigs were whooshed mushroom clouds floating across the horizon, when your dreams were taught to walk in tight circles, when your dreams were dogs, when you named your dog after the first woman you beat, when you beat her to get all of the dust out, when you beat her, your bright piñata, so the sweets would gather at your bleeding feet, when you learned to walk on women, when women learned to smile at you, when their smiles were tightropes, when their smiles were cutthroats, when you wished her smile red, when she wished her smile released, when your father was a bomb and your mother rich in minerals, when you left your body in a bedroom with purple wallpaper, when your body was a hotel at the edge of a hollow sea, when you understood the language of the sea and why it keeps returning when you were dead. When you were dead and death brought you flowers and you said thank you but you meant fuck you. When pebbles against windows sound like bullets, when your mouth was a tornado that gathered the whole city to it, everything you have ever lost is in here. Here is the music of your brother breathing. Here is the shape of your mother. Here is the last look that girl gave you, and you carried it home beneath an itching jumper, and 7 years later you still haven't opened. Here is the shadow that we believed was you. Here is your unfound song sung. Here is the legend of your lost tongue sung. Everything you have ever lost is in here. It's okay. It's all right. Be quiet now. Everything you've ever lost is still here. And it's looking for you. Thank you. Last one.